holy sites. All measures seeking to alter their character or status are null and void and without any legal effect. Pakistan reaffirms its support for the historic and special role of the Hashemite custodianship over the Islamic and Christian holy sites in Jerusalem and recognizes the Jerusalem Endowment and Al-Aqsa Mosque Affairs Department affiliated with the Jordanian Ministry of Awqaf and Islamic Affairs as the legal authority with exclusive jurisdiction over the administration of the blessed Al-Aqsa Mosque, Al-Haram Al-Sharif. The entire 144 Dunam area is an exclusive area of Muslim place of worship, and any attempt to impose division is unacceptable and must be rejected unequivocally. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we also remain deeply concerned by the continued expansion of illegal settlements, the establishment of new settlement outposts, escalating settler violence, and continued oppression of the Palestinian people throughout the occupied Palestinian territory, particularly in the West Bank. These policies violate international humanitarian law, defy the advisory opinion of the International Court of Justice, and further entrench an unlawful occupation. Impunity for these grave violations has emboldened the occupying power to persist with policies that undermine viability of a Palestinian state and threaten regional peace and security. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in Gaza, the humanitarian situation is extremely fragile. The ceasefire and the implementation of elements of the peace plan have yielded some improvements. However, 59% of the population still faces crisis-level food insecurity. Notably, since the ceasefire, over 1,100 Palestinians have been killed. That calls into question the full and faithful implementation of the plan. Nearly 2 million people remain confined to just 30% of Gaza territory, enduring miserable living conditions. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, while the ceasefire and President Trump's comprehensive plan to end the Gaza conflict have provided an important opportunity to alleviate humanitarian suffering and advance a credible pathway to Palestinian self-determination and statehood, the current moment requires collective responsibility to preserve the opportunity for peace. In the light of these developments, Arab and Islamic countries must act with unity, resolve, and collective actions, and should first reaffirm the protection of Jerusalem and its holy sites by demanding an immediate cessation of all violations against Al-Aqsa Mosque, Al-Haram Al-Sharif, preservation of the historical and legal status quo, and unrestricted access to the old city of Jerusalem and the holy sites. Second, reject all illegal Israeli settlement activities, annexation attempts, forced displacement, and demographic changes in the occupied Palestinian territory, including East Jerusalem, in accordance with international law and relevant United Nations Security Council resolutions, including Resolution 2334. Third, support the full and faithful implementation of the comprehensive plan to end the Gaza conflict and Security Council Resolution 2803. Pakistan welcomes developments under the Board of Peace towards implementation of the process of disarmament under the Gaza peace plan and appreciate the efforts of the mediating countries, including the United States of America, Egypt, Qatar, and Turkey, in achieving this progress. We hope that with these developments, concrete steps will be taken towards implementing all commitments under the Gaza peace plan. Fourth, strengthen Arab and Islamic coordination and diplomatic efforts within the international forums, including the United Nations, to ensure international protection for the Palestinian people, as also urged by President Abbas. Hold accountable those responsible for crimes and violations committed against civilians, and advance a political solution based on justice and lasting peace and international legitimacy. Excellencies, Pakistan's support for the Palestinian people remains steadfast and unwavering. We reaffirm their inalienable right to self-determination and their right to establish an independent, sovereign, viable and contiguous state of Palestine based on the pre-June 1967 borders with Al-Quds al-Sharif as its capital. A just, comprehensive and lasting peace can only be achieved through respect for international law and realization of the legitimate aspirations of the Palestinian people in accordance with the relevant UN resolutions, international legitimacy and the Arab Peace Initiative. I thank you all.
नायब वज़ीर-ए-आज़म इसहाक़ डार का मकबूजा बैतुल मक़दस के हवाले से वज़ारती इजलास से खिताब, जिसमें उनकी जानिब से कहा गया मकबूजा मशरक़ी बैतुल मक़दस पर इसराइल की खुद मुख्तारी नहीं है। खबर यह है कि वज़ीर-ए-आज़म शहबाज शरीफ के दौरा सऊदी अरब का शेड्यूल तय पा गया है। बात करेंगे डिप्टी ब्यूरो चीफ इस्लामाबाद अजहर फारूक हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं। अजहर बताइए।
जी, वज़ीर-ए-आज़म शहबाज शरीफ का ये दौरा इंतहाई अहमियत का हामिल है। वज़ीर-ए-आज़म शहबाज शरीफ कल शाम 2 रोज़ा दौरे पर सऊदी अरब रवाना हो रहे हैं। वज़ीर-ए-आज़म शहबाज शरीफ के हमरा एक आरस्ती वक्त भी होगा। वज़ीर-ए-आज़म सऊदी वली-अहद मोहम्मद बिन सलमान के साथ अहम तरीन मुलाकात करेंगे। इस मुलाकात में तो तरफा तल्लुकात खित्ते की सूरत हाल तफसीली तौर पर ज़ेर गौर आएगी। इसके साथ साथ इस मुलाकात में अमेरिका ईरान जंग और अमन मुज़ाकरात के हवाले से जो अब तक इक़दाम हुए हैं और जो कोशिश जारी हैं उस पर भी तफसीली तौर पर तबादला ख्याल किया जाएगा।
शुक्रिया आपका।